Hi, I'm Mama Manon, and today I want to make a video about helping our baby to sleep, because I had many moms in the last 2 days reaching out with the same problem. Their baby is a few months old and he's not sleeping. It takes hours to fall asleep, or he will wake up many times during the night, and they try everything to help him fall asleep or back asleep in the middle of the night. They're trying to rock him, sometimes to drive in the car, to bounce on a ball, or to feed him the boob again and again, and yet the baby is still just crying and not falling asleep. So the first thing I want to tell you is that I send you lots of love and lots of compassion right now, because I know how hard it is. I've been there like many moms, and I really hear how exhausted you are. And I love that if you're watching this video, because you're looking for an alternative to the cry out methods or the sleep training methods, which have been proven to have negative consequences on babies. So I'm so glad that you're watching this video. And there's lots to talk about when it comes to sleeping, but what I want you to know, and that we're not told usually when we become parents, is that it's okay to cry. Like, it's okay for your baby to cry. And not only is it okay, is that it's normal. Crying is a natural built-in healing mechanism. Right, so when baby is crying, he's releasing stress, he's sharing his feelings with you, he's releasing tension that he was holding into his body, and it feels good to cry. I'm sure that you've experienced this before, of being stressed and unable to sleep and turning around, and maybe you had a good cry and then you were feeling more relaxed and more ready to sleep. And the same happens to our babies. And of course, they don't have the same kind of issues that we have, right? So we might be stressed because of financial issues, or angry at our spouse, whatever it is. For babies, the stress that they feel can come from other events, like birth trauma, or even just birth itself, which is quite a big thing for a baby. A baby can need to cry because he's a bit overstimulated, right? He sees lots of lights, lots of people, everything is new for a baby, so very, very quickly they get a bit overstimulated, and crying helps to release this overstimulation and this overwhelm from being in that new world, right? Babies need to cry as well because of milestone frustrations, right? When they try to roll on their belly or on their back, and they try again and again and they can't. This is very frustrating, and sometimes they just need to express this frustration, right? Like, think about it, babies, when they're little, they can't even scratch their nose when they're itchy. Like, this is really frustrating, right? Like, babies have so many reasons to need to cry. And when we don't allow this natural healing process to happen, then their feelings and their frustrations will accumulate in their body, right? And when the feelings and the little stress they feel are accumulating, they become a bit tense, they become a bit agitated, and they cannot relax enough to fall asleep, right? And that's what happens usually when we try everything for them to fall asleep, and 2 hours later they're still agitated, they're still crying, right? So that's what I want you to know, is that it is okay for a baby to cry. It is not only okay, it's normal, and it's very healthy. Crying regularly is actually necessary to stay in good health and to be relaxed and to be to feel bright and to learn more about the world around us, right? And that's true for us as well. So now the moms that were reaching out, their baby were 5 months old, 7 months old, 9 months old. What I want you to know is that for a baby that is under 6 months old, it's normal for him to wake up 1, 2, or 3 times a night to feed. And the reason behind that is because his tummy is still little. So he needs to feed regularly, if not it gets hungry, right? So if your baby is under 6 months old and is waking up 1, 2, or 3 times a night, of course it's important to feed him, right? But if baby is over 6 months old and is healthy, usually they can start sleeping through the night after 6 months old, or waking maybe just once to have a feed in the middle of the night, right? Especially if they start eating solids, then they can last a whole night without eating, right? So, but in general, if you have tried everything, if your baby is fed, if he's got a clean nappy, if he's not too hot and not too cold, if he's not sick, and you've tried everything and he's still crying, it's usually just because he needs to cry. And then crying becomes a need, like the need to eat when you're hungry. Crying becomes a need. We need to cry sometimes to release stress and feelings and tension out of our body. Right? So this is what I want you to know, that crying is normal and is healthy. And so what can you do for your baby when he's crying like this in the middle of the night or just before bedtime? Well, let me ask you, what would you do for your best friend if she was coming and share her feelings with her? What would you do if she would just, tell you how awful she feels and if she has a cry? I believe that you would listen to her, right? You would listen to her and you would acknowledge her feelings. And babies are not very different from us, and this is what they need when they cry, is that we stay with them. We don't leave them alone, because that's terrifying for a baby. When they're crying, we stay with them. We touch their body. You can hold his little hand or hold him if he's little, if he's not crawling yet. Look at his eyes and acknowledge his feeling and listen to his feelings. When he's crying, he wants to share with you how stressed he's feeling right now, or how hard was his birth, or how overstimulating was the trip to the supermarkets today. He's just sharing his feelings with you, and he's responding to that beautiful healing mechanism that crying is. So that's what I want to invite you to do, to stay with your child, to refrain from rocking him or moving him or distracting him or feeding him. Just sit down with him or lie down next to him, look at his eyes, and you're emotionally responsive to him, right? Saying things like, I hear you, I'm right here, sweetheart. Yes, I hear that. Yes, I'm right here. Right? And let him express those feelings. Let him offload that stress that was stopping him from being relaxed and sleeping well. Right? So that's what I want you to know, is that it's okay to cry. It's really okay to cry, and it's actually a healing mechanism. Crying is a healing mechanism that we are all born with, and when we try everything to stop our child from crying, we're actually fighting against this natural healing mechanism. And fighting against nature is exhausting, and we all end up exhausted trying to do everything to stop our baby from crying, while when he's crying, he's doing the right thing. He's doing exactly what his body is asking him to do, which is to offload the uncomfortable feelings, to release stress hormones, and to let go of the tension that is held in his body. So I hope that is helpful. I hope that helps you, Mama, to know that it is okay for your child to cry, and that the best you can do for him is to stay with him and listen and allow him to cry and to share those feelings with you. I'm sharing this with you guys because I am passionate about supporting parents, and all those moms this week came to me with that same issue. And of course I can offer one-on-one consultations, but you know how much I love sharing free information. Now, if you do need a consultation, I am offering one-on-one consultations if you need more support, and I'm also writing a book at the moment that is called Tantrums Are Awesome, which is all about the benefits of crying, and I will put the link below for that. In any case, feel free to send me an email, ask me any question. I'm here for you to share the knowledge I have from aware parenting and from my own experience, and from helping so many parents around the world. So thank you for listening, and I wish you a good night's sleep. And please let me know how you go. Let me know if this information is useful. Let me know if that helps your baby, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you for watching. Bye.